1. Deep De La Riva rollover sweep. This is a sweep that my friend and partner in the video, Rafael Rosendo, catches everyone with. It is a fundamental De La Riva sweep, and it is a great first line of attack. From the spider guard, I set up the De La Riva guard by pushing Rafael's left leg away while my left foot forms an outside hook behind his left knee. I continue by lifting my hips to create the angle to feed my left De La Riva hook deeper in front of his hip. With the sweep prepared, I pendulum my right leg in a clockwise motion toward his feet as I pull his hands toward his body. This sends his body forward and trips him for the sweep. I finish by posting toward my head to stay heavy and transitioning to the mounted position. Two, De La Riva Tomonage. At this point, most of you should realize that I love Tomonage style sweeps. This is a very simple version that most will have a lot of success with. Beginning in the spider guard, I push Rafael away from me and transition to the De La Riva guard. Notice that my right hand is grabbing a cross-collar grip instead of his sleeve. I set up my sweep by extending both of my hooks to push Rafael off balance. He reacts just as I planned, by pushing into me in resistance. I take advantage of his forward momentum by bending my knees to allow him to come forward as I pull his collar and push his arm downward toward his body. As Rafael is pulled over me, I extend my legs upward toward my head and somersault him over his shoulders. Riding his momentum, I back roll and take the mounted position. Three, Tomonage Omoplata variation. As with all of my sweeps, I love to use sweeps to set up the submission. In this case, the reaction against the Tomonage is perfect for opening up the game ending omoplata. From the spider guard, I transition to the De La Riva guard with the hand in the collar and push him. Noticing my collar grip, Rafael mentally registers the possible Tomonage sweep. Continuing the ruse, I push him away to force the action. Rafael reacts and naturally resists the push with one of his own. Like before, I lift him with my legs as he moves into me, but this time, Rafael tries to lower his base to make himself heavier. As he worries about the sweep, his right elbow completely opens up. To finish, I release my legs and swing into the omoplata position as Rafael falls to the mat. 4. Reverse De La Riva knee push sweep. Whenever your opponent defends the De La Riva hook, you must have a contingency plan. This is an excellent sweep that takes advantage of your partner's proper defense of the De La Riva hook. Just as before, I begin in the spider control, and I transition to the De La Riva guard. My partner quickly defends, killing my De La Riva guard as he pushes my hook downward. I switch my legs so that my right leg is now behind his right knee in the reverse De La Riva and swing my left leg upward to lift him. This forces him forward, and I swim my arms under his legs to get a deeper position under his base. As Rafael tries to catch his base, I control his right sleeve to dominate his entire side. Finally, I pull his legs toward my head while driving my legs against his right knee to buckle him toward his right rear. I follow him to the top and finish with an easy guard pass. De La Riva leg lasso sweep. This is a great technique to get used to the basics of the inverted De La Riva guard. Beyond this, it is an incredible sweep that catches a lot of my opponents off guard. Once again, I transition from the spider control on the De La Riva guard. I switch to a cross sleeve grip with my right hand and I underhook his right leg with my left arm. Without delay, I roll onto my shoulders and swing my right leg out and around Rafael's right arm, hooking my foot on his shoulder. To sweep, I swing my hips toward his leg while opening my knee. This torques his elbow and shoulder and forces him into a shoulder roll. He easily falls onto his right shoulder and I follow him to control the sweep. Six, transitioning to the inverted De La Riva guard. I created this position so that I can get under my opponent's base when he is standing in my open guard. Though it looks unorthodox, it is actually a very strong control, especially when fighting strong opponents who maintain posture against omoplata attacks. With Rafael standing in my spider guard, I decide to go for the inverted guard. First, I switch to a cross sleeve grip with my right hand while my right foot pushes his left leg away. With his hips and left leg now open, I swing my right leg to the outside and underhook his right leg as if I would attack the omoplata. Continuously, I bridge off of my shoulders to raise my hips as if I am going to hug his leg. My right leg hooks to the inside in front of Rafael's left hip, and I do not release his sleeve grip. At this point, I am in complete control from the inverted De La Riva position. 7. Knee bar sweep. This is my go-to sweep from the inverted De La Riva guard. As with most sweeps from underneath my opponent, I am always aware of the weakness of my opponent's knees. Once again, I transition into the inverted position, but this time I continue to slide deeper under his base. As I do this, I pull down on Rafael's right sleeve while pushing his knee to disrupt his base and possibly sweep. My partner reacts by opening his legs to regain some posture. He just fell into the trap. I change my angle of attack slightly, and I dedicate my body to his leg, sweeping him to his side as if I were going for the knee bar. As he falls to the side, I transition to the top, though the submission is also available. Eight, single leg variation. I love this reversal because its transition is so enjoyable to execute. When you practice this move, focus on doing this move start to finish as one flowing chain. This is when the technique becomes the most overwhelming. This time, my opponent postures out of my sleeve control out of fear of a possible omoplata attack. I do not fret, and I continue to the previous inverted guard. Without his sleeve control, I cannot force the knee bar sweep, so I keep spinning until I can insert my left leg in a modified X-guard. From here, I go to the basic X-guard single leg, kicking his base apart, lifting his leg as I stand up in base, and circling him to finish the single leg takedown. Nine, backdoor single leg takedown. Although this move is not a De La Riva or inverted guard sweep, it is a great accompaniment to all these techniques. Remember, you should always have attacks to either side to keep your opponent wary. In this case, as I kick Rafael's leg away from him and sit up, Rafael defends by pressuring into me. As he does this, I release my foot from his leg and spin to the inside of his legs while controlling his right leg. It is very important that I catch his right foot with my leg to block him as I place my shoulder behind his leg and drive him forward. To finish the sweep, I pull his knee into my shoulder as I drive him forward and slightly to his side. Lapella Plata Sweep. This is a brand new move that I caught Teodora Canal with in this year's Mundials. Still, many can't believe it. I call it the Lapella Plata. In this move, I would like to attack the omoplata sweep, but my partner's arm feels too far for the attack. This is okay. Instead of holding his sleeve, I control his lapel and pass it to my underhooking left hand. This gives my partner confidence because he thinks he can still pass the guard with my arms preoccupied. With lapel control, I roll onto my shoulder as if I were transitioning to the inverted De La Riva. Next, I pendulum my right leg down while forcing his lapel to the mat with my left calf. This sweeps him toward his rear corner as if I were executing the standard omoplata sweep. I finish by following my partner and securing the side control position. Lapella Plata to knee bar sweep. When my opponent manages to keep his composure from the previous Lapella Plata sweep or fatigue is setting in, the time is right to attack the knee bar sweep as a variation. As I set up the Lapella Plata sweep, I decide to transition to a more inverted position to gain more control. So I move to the inverted De La Riva with Lapella Plata setup. With my right leg now inside, I can leverage Rafael's hip back as I push his lapel to sweep him with the knee bar variation. As I come to the top, I can finish on side control or transition to the knee bar attack. Hands-free omoplata drill. You cannot submit someone with the omoplata if you cannot get the lock. This is a great drill to loosen the hips, increase mobility, and learn to rely on your body without relying on your hands. Starting in the spider guard, I use my sleeve grip to pull my right leg through, bend the arm, swing my hips, and get the omoplata position. I repeat the position until my hip movement is so strong that I can release my grips, only slightly using my elbow for control as needed. 2. Kneeling Spider Omoplata. I use this entry on a lot of my opponents in the omoplata from the spider guard. It is very direct and effective. From the spider guard, I jump my hips to the right and I shoot my right leg through. Placing my right foot near his armpit, I turn my knee toward my body to force his elbow outward. Once his elbow opens, I pull my right leg over his shoulder and sit up in the omoplata position. I continue by drilling this entry from side to side. 3. Leg lasso to omoplata. One of the powerful elements of the leg lasso guard is the ability to open up your opponent's elbows for attacks. For this entry, I use the leg lasso to set up the omoplata. Beginning in the spider guard, I jump my hip to the left and leg lasso Rafael's right arm. Next, I open my hook to push his elbow open and pull it toward me with my right hand. As I do this, I pull my leg over his shoulder and sit in the omoplata position. Afterwards, I return to the spider guard to drill the technique to the other side. Four. Leg lasso rolling omoplata. The second variation to the leg lasso omoplata setup is a great complement to the previous drill. This time, I spin to the inside for the inverted setup. The key is controlling his sleeves so that he cannot adequately drop his weight and control my head as I spin through. Once again, I begin in the spider guard and I transition to the leg lasso control. While maintaining control of his left sleeve, I push off the mat with my left foot to propel him onto my shoulders. Continuing with my momentum, I spin past Rafael's hips until I end up in the omoplata position. I lock the omoplata and then I return to the guard to continue the drill. Five. Armpit hook omoplata. Sometimes the classic omoplata finish is difficult to come by, especially with flexible or athletic opponents. This finish goes around the issue by pressuring both shoulders. Beginning in the spider guard, I transition to the omoplata lock. This time, I do not bring my leg over his shoulder. Instead, I use my left foot to open Rafael's right elbow as I feed my right leg across his back toward it. As I do this, I pull his arm to my right foot until I can hook it behind his right triceps. Then, I escape my hips and pull his arm to my body. If the guy doesn't tap, I grab his elbow and pull. If he still won't tap, I pull harder and break the elbow. Six. Armpit hook omoplata to monoplata. Sometimes your opponent will not tap, even though you could injure his arm. This is when I go for the sweep and finish from the top. The leverage is always stronger on top, and this may be necessary to finish the toughest opponents. From the spider guard, I transition to the armpit hook omoplata. First, I pressure him using the omoplata and armpit hook, but he will not tap. To increase the pressure, I pull him backward for the sweep. I escape my hips toward the trapped arm. As I do this, I control his elbow while straightening my right leg to make him tap with the monoplata. 7. Rolling omoplata to monoplata. Oftentimes, a seasoned opponent will try to roll to alleviate the pressure of the omoplata. Even if your opponent rolls, you can easily follow him and progress to the monoplata. Starting in the spider guard, I progress to the omoplata lock. To defend, Rafael puts his right hand on the mat, elevates his hips, and shoulder rolls to release the pressure. As he lands on his back, I control his arm, drive my right leg across his face, and torque his arm to effect the monoplata. Eight. Finishing the rolling omoplata. Another option against the rolling defense is to roll with your opponent and continue the attack. Because Jiu-Jitsu is a submission-based art, that is the style I like to go for. Once again, I transition into the omoplata from the spider guard and my partner defends by rolling. To counter his roll, I roll with him to stay in position. Immediately, I grab his right arm and he can no longer roll to escape. I finish by prying his right arm while shoulder locking the left with my legs. Nine. Rolling omoplata to the back. This is a variation of the previous move that should be used against flexible opponents. In this situation, I have followed his roll attempt and I am pressuring the omoplata, but I can't finish because Rafael's so flexible. No problem. I shift my attack by opening my right leg and throwing it to the other side of his body as I grab behind his collar and pull him toward me. I do not release the grip until I have secured the back position and I am ready to resume my attack.
Ethan Garrison, John Brazilian, and John Carson. This is your final call before DQ. Derek Easley and Ricky Butler are now DQ. Second call, Josh Compton. David Key, second call.
Steve Gable, last call for Steve Gable. And also last call for James Roscoe to the point, please.
Drive your weight to the side. Get that man with his knees on.
Go in, stop pass, push his knee down with your right. Push his knee down, hip down, he's gonna try to sweep. Hip down, Nick. Hips down.
Hip down. Smash his knee down, Nick.
Right there, Nick, get the half guard right there. Fumbling, get the half guard, nice. Get the half guard right there, half guard, crush. Push his knee down with your right, Nick. Crush, half guard, get the half guard. Stay there, hug his head. Front of the face, hug. Right there, base over there. Nick, they're gonna try to roll under. Start shift the back, Nick.
Shift back, Nick, he's trying to go under you.
Right there, get them out. Start getting them out.
Back up.
Base.
Back up, Nick, don't let him get under you.
That's okay, Nick, that's okay. That's your left knee under his stomach, Nick.
Left knee on the stomach. Left knee on the stomach. Go.
I got a new board. I got to ruin it.
Cobrinha.
Na 9, Cobrinha. Vai na 9, hein? Boa! Pega! Boa, Cobrinha. Para aí não.
Agora é a hora, Cobrinha.
Aí, boa.
Bora, Cobrinha, passar. Joga a sua, Cobrinha.
Boa!
Vamos, moleque. Pressão. Bora, Cobrinha. Pega lá, Cobrinha.
Não se arrumar não, Cobrinha, bora. Pressão aí pra passar. Excelente, Cobrinha. Tá botando pressão aí.
Vai pra sua, Cobrinha, vambora! Entrega, Cobrinha, entrega! Agora pressão! Pressão, moleque! Pressão, Cobrinha! Bota pressão!
3 minutos, Cobrinha, 3 minutos.
Samuel Braga. On mat number 1, Cobrinha.
Tá na boa aí, ó. Chamou na gola. Cara, pra ele não controlar a tua perna. É a bola.
Ready to play questions passes to the next bracket.
Ele para aí não, Cobrinha, bora.
And now, on mat number 2, from Kasia Bernecki, Marcos Torregrosa.
Bora, Cobrinha. Ele para
And his opponent, from Aliança, Lucas Lepre.
Bora, Cobrinha, tá parado aí, vambora. Vamos no cão. 2 minutos agora, Cobrinha, vamos. Aí, vamos levar. Boa!
Thank you for bearing with us during that technical difficulty.
Bora, Cobrinha, ela fica aí. Boa. Tira o pé, tira o pé, tira o pé. Vem pra trás, Cobrinha. Aê, Lucão! Tira a perna, Cobrinha. Ligado aí, Cobrinha. Boa, Lucas. Calma aí, Cobrinha. Defende com calma. Vamos, faz isso aí logo, bora.
Lucas Stephanie advances to the next bracket.
Vai querer ficar parado aí, Cobrinha. Vamos calcanhar e empurra pra baixo.
Now on mat number 2, from basic weight, Paulo Guilherme.
Tá enrolando o pé e cruzando o joelho. Tá enrolando
His
o
opponent
pé.
from Jordan Team, Jonatas Gurgel.
Tá enrolando o pé e cruzando o joelho por cima. Acabou.
Aí é lateral aqui, ó.
Classificou. Acabou. Segunda, Cobrinha. Parou.
Celso Vinicius.
Enrolou o pé.
Sugier Tyson. Michel
Acabou, Cobrinha. Acabou, Cobrinha.
Acabou,
Acabou, Cobrinha. Cobrinha.
Acabou.
Acabou, Cobrinha. Ô, Cobrinha, acabou. Cobrinha, acabou. Boa, Cobrinha. Boa, Cobrinha. Classificou, joelho. Cobrinha, não bate o outro. Ô, Cobrinha, acabou, Cobrinha. Cobrinha, acabou. Aê, Boa, Cobrinha. Boa. Watch your neck. Watch the neck.
Don't let him grab the lapel, Scott. Watch out for the
Watch
choke.
the neck.
Watch out for the choke. Watch for the choke. Watch out for the choke, Scott. Rock him. Rock his base.
Rock, Scott, rock.
Move his base, Scott.
Rock.
Get that hand out of there, Scott.
Off the chin. Come on. Rock. Rock. Get to your other side. Come on.
Watch out, Scott. Watch out for the choke. Go, Scott. Go to your belly.
Get your knees in. Come on. Block with the knees. Watch the arms. Turn up, turn up.
Watch your neck.
Watch the neck. He's looking for your neck. Spin the other way. Come on, spin the other way.
We got an incredible matchup here. Rubens Cobrinha Charles, who everybody's been waiting to see all year long. In the finals, Bruno Frazzato. These two guys are at the top of the heap, and they are two of the most exciting competitors to watch, especially in this division. Both very, very dangerous from top and from bottom.
I think this is going to be an action-packed match. They both have very similar games. They both have an inside leg sweep that they do. Both do it very well. And from what I know, these two really don't like each other at all. They had a real close battle in Pan Am's, lots of controversy. Not big fans of each other's.
And Cobrinha, besides having a wicked haircut, he's the Mundial's champion in 2006 and 2007, and he's never lost to Bruno. Not once has he lost to Bruno. He's also, I don't know if this is going to help him out, but he's a master of capoeira in Brazil. Now that can put you in some funky positions. It looks a lot like breakdancing. Maybe we'll get to see him. He'll get to see him exploit some of those positions here.
Well, it definitely helps his balance and his jumping around. He's quite athletic and he jumps around. He's got great base, great balance, hard to sweep. Let's see how these two go at it.
Bruno immediately taking a shot. Now he's taken third 3 times at the Mundials. He has yet to place higher. 3 bronzes, this is the time that he's looking to get something better. And it's not a silver.
Yeah, from what I heard, he said that this is going to be his year to win it. So he's so far, his what he's holding is true. He's in the finals. Let's see how he makes it out of here. He's got a great position already. Right off the bat, he's got a position where he can sweep. He's got Cobrinha's doing well by trying to free that foot.
Well, Bruno came into the academy at Hollywood Brazilian Jiu Jitsu a few months back, and I got the opportunity to train with him for about an hour, solid. He came in and he wanted to train some no-gi, so we went at it for an hour, and this guy is slick. He is very slick, very tricky, amazing leg work, great sweeps. He's dangerous from all positions.
I remember you telling me about that. I was bummed I missed out on that opportunity. So right now, Cobrinha's trying to kick the leg pass. He's trying to do a pass that I like to call a dance pass. And geez, with his expertise in capoeira, maybe he's going to pull that one off. Nice try on the sweep by Bruno from the De La Riva guard. Both have great guard work.
I love to see Bruno taking it to him, taking the fight to Cobrinha.
Yeah, he is. He's really being the aggressor here with his guard work. Cobrinha's looking to make grips. He needs to make some grips. There's that back leg attempt sweep. Nice movement from the bottom. Brushed right off there by Cobrinha, though. Made it look like it was no big deal.
Now, when you rotate into that grapevine with that outside heel hook, is that illegal?
No, it's completely legal. If your inside leg crosses over the hip, it's absolutely fine. Your outside leg, however, cannot cross the hip line.
Can't cross the center line.
Cannot cross the center line. Which has been a kind of a point of debate and controversy from time to time with those newer rules.
Yep, I actually was clear on that. Now, what's Cobrinha trying to do with this lapel here on the far side?
Cobrinha, I think he's just trying to lock a good grip, a solid grip. He wants to control Bruno's head, so he's getting the lapel ready. He wants to get an underhook, and he wants to place his left bicep in front of Bruno's neck. That'll give him a strong cross-facing ability. He also can set up that Bravo choke from there, which Cobrinha uses quite often. But I imagine Bruno's quite wise to that. So. These two guys know each other's game like they know their own back of their hand.
Well, here we are coming up at 7 minutes remaining, and there's not much to talk about on the scoreboard. But these guys, both of them, I don't think any competitor in the finals has more passion to beat their opponent than in this weight division.
I think so. I think you're right.
Bruno would love to stick it to Cobrinha, and vice versa.
Yeah. We'll see if the little Cobra can strike. Right now, he's kind of a little bit more on the defensive because of Bruno's aggressive guard. He's trying to stuff the legs. He's going to need to circle back behind Bruno if he can get his legs stuffed. Yeah, he's almost tried there.
It looked like Bruno was just looking at the clock to see the time.
Beautiful!
Now we're going to get to see some points on the board. With 6 minutes and 15 seconds remaining, Bruno, the first to put his stamp on the scoreboard at 2-0.
He scores with an excellent half-guard sweep, a kind of a flip over the back there. But now Cobrinha's back up on top.
He's in a dangerous position here.
He's in a very dangerous position. He's got his calf locked out, although calf slices are illegal in tournaments.
Now, how do you call on this? When he's got this Sheriff Buford T. Pusser calf lock, now, is it a DQ if you tap from that? Or is the position itself illegal? Or does it mandate that someone taps because of the position?
Yeah, that is all on the discretion of the referee and the danger that the athletes really put into.
Is that what they're discussing here?
I think that's what they are discussing. I think they're trying to discuss what position they want to start the leg in.
It looked like for a minute there, it looked like a 3-ref answer. He was going to require 3 refs.
Well,
that jumped in there.
That's relatively new too in the BJJ world, which I'm a big fan of. They only used to have 1 referee. Now they have 3 in the finals, and I'm a big fan of that because 3 eyes are better than 1 set of eyes. So the head referee can consult with the other 2, and then they make the decision.
We got 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 51 seconds remaining. And he's going right back to the Buford T. Pusser. Flat on the floor leg lock.
I think they're going to let Bruno's foot out of there. And here we go. All tied up 2-2. Cobrinha has a good left elbow position. Wow, Bruno's right back in the half guard though. And in the deep half guard, nice half guard. He's got an inside scorpion on Rubens' leg, but now he's out of there. And look at this, he's coming up.
Backs up for a reversal. The single leg, he's going to run the pipe. Oh, and he almost takes the back.
Run the pipe into almost a double. And
does he get that far hook in?
We almost had 2 hooks in, and Cobrinha scrambled out. But we again find Bruno in the lead. The second time in this competition he's had the lead. And he's a happy man.
He is a happy man. He disengages, walks off, pumping his fists. This match is getting good, brother.
So far, he's taken it to the reigning champ. He's up by 2. The second time in the tournament, he's up and up. He instigated a very smart strategy from the beginning. These guys are both known for sweeping from the guard, and Bruno's he's up 2 sweeps to 1.
Bruno trying to pin that leg down with a little bit of success.
Yeah, that's not an easy task with Cobrinha. Bruno should hike up Cobrinha's hips a little bit, concentrate on lifting his hips up a little bit instead of trying to control that far leg a little bit.
Bruno right now doing the leg hike, what we call with 30 girls. In Jiu-Jitsu, it's the gable on the 5 for a pass.
Nice movement from Cobrinha coming out to try to take the back. And if he gets that knee through, he's going to take the... and he sweeps.
There we go! This match just got interesting.
2 sweeps each, leave the score tied up, and now here's this inside leg position where he's got the inside leg across. This is a position they both do. They're both known for this position.
What do you think about attacks on this near side foot?
That foot's dangling. It's a dangler. Cobrinha could toe hold that leg if Bruno takes a little snoozer or gets a little too confident.
And theoretically, he takes his defensive leg out of position by having it on the bottom figure forward, correct?
Yes, his defensive leg is gone. It's a trap. His left leg could easily be attacked. Now, this cross knee position is real dangerous on the knee, in my opinion. Both guys could attack that inside foot, but because of the rules, there's no heel hooks allowed.
We're just going to call a time and put that pants sleeve back into position.
Yeah, he's going to fix that so Ruben can get a better grip. Now Charles needs to keep his knee free. If he can keep his knee free,
he wants that figure 4 below his knee, correct?
Yes, he needs to try to get his knee free. So he wants to try to push that down and get Bruno's hips down, so his hips are nowhere near his knee joint.
We've got 3 minutes and 15 seconds left, and the score is tied.
Yeah, this is a close match.
Seems to be a little discrepancy on the grips again. What are we looking at here?
I'm not sure what he's complaining about. I think he's
complaining that there's 3 minutes left and the score is tied.
Yeah, and he's not winning by 2.
As Cobrinha, you have a legitimate gripe there.
Yeah. Bruno's doing a good job of controlling that left arm. On his left side, he's controlling Charles's right arm, and it's avoiding his attacks. Now that could be a sweep. Oh, he's got to come up.
But now, what about that straight ankle?
That's a nasty looking. He could possibly straight knee bar him right there, but he spins out.
2 minutes and 30 seconds remain. Advantages are equal. The points are 4 apiece.
Wow.
This is coming down to it.
Yep.
This could be the year that Bruno pulls out an upset.
It
Looks like he just reached around for that foot.
Yeah, now he's a little bit more wise on that foot. I think Bruno needs to be careful. But as long as he controls that sleeve, he's always doing all right.
This could be Bruno's year, and believe it or not, as talented as they both are, this would be a very big upset.
Now, Cobrinha's complaining, I think, that he's being passive. He wants to see him hit with a passivity call for just holding this inside leg position, but he does the same thing, so I think he's just trying to play with the referee's head a little bit.
Well, we're inside of 2 minutes now. Somebody's got to make a move.
Yeah.
Bruno's got to look to win this and not just not lose.
Yeah, I agree. He needs to make a move to sweep here. He's trying to set up his sweep, but...
We're at 1 minute and 26 seconds left. 1 minute and 36 seconds left.
It's getting down to the nitty-gritty.
Little break here. They're going to put the belts back on. Let's see who takes the most time redressing themselves.
Yeah.
Get a decent assessment of who's the most winded.
It looks like Bruno's taking his time.
Well, this is it. This is where you got to reach inside and pull something out of you. You got to want it more. You got to outwill your opponent at this point. The score is tied. Advantages are tied.
Yeah, it's an interesting time inside a competitor's head. It could be where they really suck it up and put it all on the line, or it could be when they crumble. So,
well, this is it. This is for all the marbles, guys.
They should restart in this inside leg position. Here we go. Taking a minute to fix their grips. And it's go time.
They're talking about the leg position, the figure 4, the feet.
Yeah, everything. They want to make sure everything's as close to where it was before.
Time has started. We got a minute and a half.
Wow, 1 minute and a half. I would say Bruno's in a the better sweeping position. He's got Charles off balance. Yeah, here he goes. This is it. That could have been it.
No, that was. Oh, why did he not sit up and insist on that sweep?
I'm not sure. That looked like it should have been completely done. He should have finished that sweep. He had him on his back, but he's up by an advantage. So it doesn't matter now if he swept him. He's up by an advantage with a minute left. Now Charles he's got that foot.
He's looking for that foot.
Oh, he's got it. That's on. Oh no, he's let it go.
He's looking for.
Now
he's looking for his heel is bent back to his butt. That's on.
That's a tap. That's a tap. He finishes the match by a toe hold.
That hurt my foot from here. Oh! And he pulled that out. He looked for it. He hunted for it, and he took it. That was a beautiful match. Bruno's got to be kicking himself.
Yeah, that was
by one advantage. There was 49 seconds remaining, and he pulled it out. Oh,
Bruno, I think he played a perfect match, and he played exactly the game that he wanted to play. I'd like to see that again in slow motion. I'd really like to concentrate on why he didn't come up on that sweep. And that would have been a big difference. 2 points ahead with Cobrinha on his back with a little less than a minute. Big ordeal, big difference. We stated a little bit earlier that we thought that toe hold might have been around there, and Charles had the wherewithal to go after it. And ouch, I think I heard the pops from over here.
I think I did as well. And they are whooped to that hand till the cows come home. Well, I got to tell you, he's going to be doing some capoeira dances after that victory. But I think Bruno may rewind the tape when it comes out and look at it and kick himself, because that sweep had 2 points written all over it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was a great job by Rubens Charles. I think he looked fantastic all the way up to here. He looked good in this match, but I think that Bruno was the aggressor, but he pulled it out in the end with a submission.
And that's 3 times in a row for this guy. 3 times in a row. The Brazilian Jiu Jitsu World Champion, Rubens Cobrinha Charles, 2008.